And we are back. Got my two dads back with us. We got TK and Devin the Dude. You remember that TV show? I know, like you might be young enough. You might be too young for it, Devin, but yeah, I know TK. Remember my two dads? So yeah.
I thought you were trying to say something like TK, T, Devin, D, two dads. I was like, how deep are you going, Greggo?
Nope, not even that deep. Not even that deep. Nope. But what's going on with you guys, man?
Cool, man. You know, vibes and caffeine is the motto, bro.
Oh, man. How about you, TK?
I'm on a healthy rotation of Coke, water, Red Bull, and hibachi.
That sounds like a very good...
not the type that a quote-unquote bear consumed here in North Georgia mountains. That's been, reformatted to be Tennessee, but the other kind of Coke from the factory. I guess post 1950.
Talk about a weird concept for a movie.
Right. Oh, the cocaine bear? Man, listen. You know what? I'm thoroughly convinced that people will watch damn near anything when there's a perfectly good World Cup going on that will take you from well at least during the group stage from 5 o'clock in the morning to about 4-ish in the afternoon. And I'm like, that's a whole day right there. It's a whole day of great football. Like. I need people to just put down the silly string and the crazy movies and just get some of this World Cup, baby. It's all right here, baby. But we are still moving course. Thanks to Donald Wine for coming through, pulling up with us and giving us his firsthand experience as far as. Being a cutter for the first week of the World Cup, and now of course we're gonna pivot and talk about the rest of the field. Of course, we might touch back on the U.S. Towards the end of the show, but of course in our last episode we had the whole Cultureverse pull up, and we made our picks for for who was going to make it out the group stages and ultimately win the World Cup. And let's just say, got about half of that right. Got about half of it. Like all things considered, like this cup so far has actually been kind of wild. Like it's been like after dark during daylight hours. It's been wild, especially even just today, like with Portugal and South Korea, and then having the pettiness of Ghana and Uruguay. I'm like, yo, like this. It's one of those things that just kind of just fills the soul when when your team doesn't win, but they're gonna make sure that their enemy doesn't get through. It's like, nah. If we going down, you coming down with us, B. It ain't going down like that. But
who wins the Petty Award?
Oh God.
I must say the shithousery in this tournament has been immaculate.
Elite level shithousery, 100%. But I need to know real quickly who is getting the Petty Award for this last match, day 3, where there were
easily Ghana.
Oh, okay,
because
I disagree.
I'm going to say I was going to say Ghana until I saw the Korean dude specifically learn Portuguese to cuss Ronaldo.
I heard about that. Yeah, like that's next level shit right there. That definitely is. I'll give credit for that. But yeah, I mean, of course, the history between Ghana and Uruguay goes back to 2010, and Suarez taking the handball to force Ghana to make a PK, which they missed. And of course, they play today. Ghana gets another PK. It's the worst PK ever in life. And
are you kidding me,
dude? I am.
Are you?
I am not. but of course, gotta make sure to say, hey, like, so if we ain't making it, y'all ain't making it either. I mean, and they even like they went as far as just like dragging out subs so that way the time would run out and they would have even less time to get. I think Uruguay had to get like an extra goal to possibly like force a tiebreaker and whatnot, and that didn't come. So yeah, like on this bracket, yeah, like there's actually like one like octave of the 16 that we just like got none of it. Like it absolutely was not good. So let's take a look at how we what's actually there, and then we'll go back compared to how we did. So actually making it to the round of 16. Where's my stuff at? I don't know. I know I just had it. Like
I'm ready, man. Don't let me fire off.
For
my petty choice, because you went to the history of Ghana, Uruguay first.
You run it down.
My petty choice is Saudi Arabia. It's got to be Saudi Arabia.
Go on.
With the FU goal at the end.
Oh yeah. It
was definitely an FU goal for sure. Like, we're going down. We will drag you down with us.
That was a big dagger. Like it was.
Yeah, it was. It was. I can't even front on that one. That one was pretty good.
I felt like Ghana wasn't totally aware of, like, you know, I don't feel like the bench communicated to them as much as the Uruguayan bench communicated to their team. It's like, hey, we need to get another goal, as opposed to Ghana's just like, we just don't want to get scored on again. We already are losing, you know. But I will say it was perfect, because that little thing that the Uruguayan player did. Tenfold, baby. Tenfold. Get that.
What about you, Devin?
But let's move on to this bracket.
No, I think what was Devin's? What was your pick?
Pick for one. I'm sorry.
The petty.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, dude, cussing Ronaldo out in Portuguese specific. Like that is immaculate. He literally walked up to dude just to cuss him out. You literally were waiting for this moment. You learned Portuguese.
Like, just like, it's gonna come a point in time when we gonna be winning.
Our paths will cross.
I got your ass. I got it. Oh man, so let's not check out this round of 16. We got, of course, Netherlands versus the U.S. tomorrow morning. Argentina and Australia, that we would get the win. If we win, that's who we would get the winner of. Japan and Croatia, Brazil versus South Korea, England versus Senegal, France versus Poland, Morocco versus Spain, and Portugal versus Switzerland. Now, before I go any further, I need to give a quick shout out to the Asian Confederation. They got three teams for the first time ever, and of course, Africa, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like, and the thing about it is, I'm not sure why people were really all that surprised with the Asian Confederation. I'm like, the World Cup is in technically in Asia. I mean, I know they keep talking about, you know, like it being a big thing about, I mean, in the Middle East and everything. I'm like, no, it's still Asia. Like that's like those teams are used to coming to Qatar. So, you know, they've actually made that work. And then, of course, with Senegal and Morocco, in a lot of cases, they're used to like somewhat similar climate conditions, and they made it work. And then, of course, us, because like I said in the first half, did Mexico make it? No. Did Canada make it? No. And for the second time in a row, Germany ain't make it either. So, yeah. So, like, whatever horns are out there for y'all out there, just go toot, toot. So, but I say it's been a relatively fun games, at least. Of course, we already talked about in the first half, just as far as like kind of the behind the scenes madness. But what do y'all think about this setup with the round of 16?
Yeah. Speaking on Germany, of course, I don't know what deal with the devil Germany made to win it all in 2014 and to never be relevant again. The Germans have literally sold their soul. Mesut Ozil has literally cursed them to beyond damnation.
He's another nominee for Freddie Pick, because he was out there and giving his support to Qatar. I was like, wow.
Yeah, he was out there dropping tweets. He's a different beast,
this beef with Qatar and Germany, like, dog, like it's getting kind of wild, because they were the Qatar folk were definitely hype that Germany was leaving. Of course, we haven't even really talked about Denmark didn't make out the group stage. Belgium didn't make out the group stage. And they were actually, and it was almost that close that Spain didn't make it, because yesterday there was a moment. Yesterday there was a real moment where we could have had both Germany and Spain out at the same time, and we were that close to just a real glorious moment, and it didn't quite curl quite right, but we were there. We smelled it. It's right there, and it's definitely been. It hasn't been a chalk World Cup, and that's been good. There's definitely been obviously room for upsets, and I don't think the upsets are over. I don't.
Yeah, I think on that we have a lot to kind of anticipate and expect. But I mean, it was a bit of a disappointment, I will say. I was rooting for Belgium to finally put their golden statue together, and instead they just melted in the Qatar heat. That statue was gone. It's very much like the emoji we posted on socials yesterday. But I mean, I was really hoping for another AFCON team too, just to have a little extra mix in the pot. But I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with what we got in terms of teams from that federation. I think though this is where it gets real strictly business, and I don't know if we're going to see any more upsets. If we do, maybe one or two. Maybe one or two, and I think
that's enough.
One of those could be the USA. I mean, yeah, you're right. That's but still, the way the schedule rolls out, it's going to be like almost games every day, and then we'll skip like 2 or 3 days, and then we'll be into the semis, and then we'll skip a couple days, and then there's like a whole week in between, or almost a week. So I think it'll be interesting. We'll start starving for football again. But with that being said, and if you look at our picks versus what actually happened, I think it's got to be France-Brazil at this point. So I want to start with that. But then to loop back to the upsets, I think we're looking at potentially the USA beating the Netherlands. Now, I'm not hoorah for the USA, as you probably have all figured out at this point. But I think it's a crazy time for that whole team to get the flu.
Right, you heard about that? Like
in the middle of the desert,
half the squad is sick. They are like flu ridden. Like
even the staff and the coach.
Yeah, and
isn't the same in France as well? Am I correct on that?
I've not heard that.
I hadn't heard about France.
There's two teams.
Oh wow. Y'all loving people.
Well, France got a deeper roster than the Netherlands, so I mean,
they out here loving people who ain't clean, because damn. So we missed Belgium, we missed Mexico, we missed Wales, Ghana, Germany, Denmark, Uruguay, and Cameroon. What we did get: Senegal, USA, Argentina, Brazil, Netherlands, France, and Japan. I at least from what's there, and
the hex looks pretty intense. Like the right side of the hex is very intense. I think the winner has to come from that side, but it could just be an easy walk for Messi it really could just be a walk in the park for Messi at this point. If you look at it, they got to go through Brazil. If we're thinking heavyweights, we're talking heavyweights,
Actually, why you bullshitting? You know who could sneak and make a nice run? It's in a team that I didn't think was gonna go all that deep, given the pre-tournament drama. Portugal. I think that they could.
That's the underlying kind of underdog here through it all.
I think they can make a run to the semis. I mean, I think they can beat Switzerland. I think they can.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Spain is interesting right now because they started off really strong, but then it's like they fell off from there. So it's like I'm not sure what to really expect there.
When you're putting all your hopes on the back of Alvaro Morata, I mean,
yeah, that's a crapshoot. That's a crapshoot.
I mean, he's on the kind of form that got him transferred to Chelsea, and then to Juventus, and then back to Atletico, and then So,
the Real,
tell me.
and then back to Atletico. It's like, dude, like you can't stay anywhere. Yeah, like that one. Yeah, like cause, I mean, on that side of the bracket, you have England, Senegal, France, Poland, Morocco, Spain, and Portugal, Switzerland. I'm not. Well, I mean, the fact that Senegal got out of the group even without Mane, I'm like, will England play down to that competition or will they step up? So I'm not willing to rule out Senegal entirely with the upset there.
I don't think that happens.
It might not happen, but I would say maybe.
The worst thing England could do is play Maguire again, who honestly has been pretty solid this tournament. This is the part of his career where he's playing well and is like, he's already getting shit, but everyone wants to actually like give him a little bit of credit and say, like you got John Stones sticking up for him and all that. I don't know. I just think though, you put Foden in that front lineup, and I'm not a Phil Foden fan, but with Foden, he's there for nobody but himself. He wants to score goals, and then you put Raheem back in that lineup. I think England's going to cook, and if Senegal can score, sure they'll get something on the counter, but I don't think they're going to outscore England.
No. Like, they're scrappy.
And you got to look about the teams who have not lost.
They might make it a fight, but it'll be scrappy. Let's see here.
England's one of those teams that haven't lost.
Yeah, true. I mean, if it runs the way I think, it'll probably be England versus Portugal in the semis. Well,
that's a good semi.
I mean, there's.
Dude, the Swiss ain't got no gas for that.
I don't think France will go that far. I think I feel like they'll probably get upset in the quarterfinals, and that's probably where England comes in. Yeah,
I think that's the big question. If England beats France in the quarterfinals,
okay, France is literally. So that's the thing, right? We all came into this. Pogba's hurt, Kante's hurt.
Kuku's hurt,
Benzema's hurt. All these players are hurt, and honestly, they haven't been missed. They haven't been missed. If we're going to be 100% honest with ourselves, France has been playing as good of football that they're going to play this tournament. And
I mean, they lost their last group game,
but they lost.
But they made all those changes, so it's like
I don't care.
Yeah, they lost to their B team.
It's kind of like
Brazil
Brazil today. It's like you make changes. Like, hey, we'll just if we give up one, hey, give it up to the guy. But
I think that matters. I think that sets a tone throughout the squad. There's only 25, 26 men there, and I think it matters. I can't harp on it, but I think
When
that
all-
matters.
when
It can either go one or two
18
ways.
Came on, they looked good. They scored if it wasn't for the what was that, the offside or whatever it was, but they right away. So I can't. I think France has established themselves as we're in it to win it. They'll be there.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, like I said, if they get back to what they were doing those first two games, it's hard to see them get beat. But at the same time, I'm not expecting a repeat, so it's just a matter of where do they lose. Is it going to be the quarterfinals? Is it going to be in the semifinals? Can they make it all the way to the finals? That would be my question there. But yeah, like I keep looking on that side. I'm like, Portugal can I think they can make this run. Of course, their defense always scares me half to death because they're still relying on Pepe. But maybe. Now when I look at the
Bruno's been
side,
cooking, man.
The attack's been cooking as a whole. Yeah.
So, and then Leao is, he's been pretty electric.
The fact Leao's on the bench makes no sense to me. I'm like, but that's a whole diatribe right there. But
Ronaldo leaves, he starts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. On the other side of the bracket, again we got Netherlands, USA, Argentina, Australia, Japan and Croatia, and Brazil versus South Korea. I posted on the FTC Twitter on Thursday because I was looking at the bracket. I was like, of course, I think that was back when the first reports of Netherlands getting sick kind of started to come up, and I started looking at it. I was like, would it be totally impossible for the USA to make a semifinal run?
Bruh.
Because here's the thing. We were the only team. We were the only team to not give up a goal in the open play during the group stage, and I'm loving what's happening with Musa, Adams, and McKennie. I'm loving it. It's really just a matter of, can we figure out something in attack to make this actually dangerous? Because if we ever do that, we might actually have something. I mean, Turner's been holding up well. Ream's been like, I think I said this during the last episode. Like, Berhalter was talking to Pep Guardiola. I guess he was out in England to watch. It was a City game versus Fulham, and Guardiola apparently told Berhalter that if Ream was 10 years old, 2 years younger, he'd be jumping all over him. And like all things said, like he's been the mainstay on that back line. Like he's been a rock, and like even more so than Zimmerman, who a lot of people had hype and high hopes for going into the World Cup. Like Ream's been beyond steady, but I think we could get past Netherlands. I do. Even if they were healthy, I think we could. Obviously, Gakpo is going to be a real test because he's been lights out during the group stage. He's amongst the leaders in goals so far in the tournament. But I think we can do it. I do.
I believe.
We can.
I hear you, Greggo.
We can do it.
I will not repeat that chant. I will not give that credit any credit whatsoever.
Oh, the cringe! I swear.
What say y'all?
Yeah, no. We can do it. We can do a lot of things. So this can go. This can either, be very good or it can be very, very bad. This can, the jury is really still
have
out.
Like 11 flu games hit us all at one time.
Exactly. And
I'm trying to just see them not get sick.
Like just be like called the orange flu. Like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, our midfield, like you just mentioned, is pretty solid. Of course, I believe we got the official. It's officially official that Pulisic was cleared to play. I think I read that earlier. So he'll be there. Steel.
Christian looks great. So says Berhalter.
The defense has been holding up very well. So, again, it really just comes down to goals. Who's scoring them? And it's really, and I mean, of course, I think the $1 million question is how much are we going to see Gio Reyna? Of course, that really boils down to it.
That was one thing I meant to ask Donald about during the first half of the show. But what's been y'all's take on that? Because there was Eric Ronaldo, former U.S. national team player. He's got a show on Sirius with Tony Meola, and from what he was saying, of course, he's former teammates with Gio Reyna's dad, Claudio Reyna, and apparently. He got the inside intel that Berhalter told Gio to lie about his injury. And, of course, that blew up. Ronaldo had to give an apology and retract everything. But then in the last game against Iran, you saw no Gio at all. So either... the math ain't mathing right there because clearly there's a conflict going on right there, and it's like if he was that injured, why is he there? And if you had that type of concern with him, why would you call him up? Mm-hmm. Because obviously with the talent that he has when he's healthy, he's a guy that should be playing. So make it make sense. What do y'all say?
Yeah, no, I 1,000% agree. He's at this point, if he's not injured, then Berhalter is literally sabotaging himself and the country. So he has to be injured. That's the only logical explanation here. And nobody just wants to come out and say it at this point. But for him to not be playing, given his skill is wild. I mean, that's essentially like, Neymar not playing for Brazil right now. We know Neymar's injured, and at least they're being honest about it. Like, we're doing everything we can to rehab Neymar so he can be ready for the next match. They
showed the bruise. They said, hey, it's right there. Can't miss it.
Yeah, you literally can't miss this thing. So we're doing everything we can, but with Gio, if he's not injured, I have serious questions to ask of Berhalter. So
yeah, that's one of those things that is definitely something that you don't want hanging over the team, not just in the immediate during this tournament, but like also as it pertains to going forward, if there's any idea of possibly retaining Berhalter past the World Cup, because I'm like, that could easily become a thing as far as whether or not Reyna is called up or gets to play much going forward, and that's just unnecessary drama. I would hate to have a coach in charge that would be that petty. Of course, and the thing about it is we've seen Berhalter be that petty before. So it's like, but in this case, you have a highly rated young prospect who's at a major club in Europe in the Bundesliga, and You mean to tell me that you can't figure out, whether or not he's injured and whether or not you want to actually play? Because like you did like 15 minutes in the first game, you did 8 minutes against England, and then nothing at all in the final group match. And like I said, if he's not healthy, why bring him? Because I mean, it's already enough of a grind for a lot of these players to be there in the first place, having gone through so many games in the first half of the season, and then go halfway around the world to just basically just sit there. Like, nah. But
the thing is, man, he's got, like, I think people, well, maybe not, I don't know, but it seems like it's one of those things where like they've been doing all these takes on it with the coverage from Fox, which I hope people are able to find other coverages other than Fox. But if you've heard Alexi Lawless's take, it's even that is like, well, even, like if there's smoke, there's fire, there's, that kind of thing. And at this point now, he has even said it more than twice. So I definitely think there's something in the water, if you will. But I also think that Berhalter is maybe doing a little bit of like little retribution. It's like, you're not going to speak out against us at a major tournament and take the focus off of the core of the team and what we're trying to accomplish. And he's just doing it in a very, very like slick way. I think that's one angle to maybe potentially, kind of like look at. But then I think Gio could, like, I think people are forgetting, like, not necessarily his talent, but like, who was serving up Holland this whole time? Who? Tell me. And then we have people giving interviews from the team, players giving interviews saying U.S. agent is the only player capable of making those passes. And I just want to throw up in my mouth. And like, it infuriates me that they're not even like able to praise their other players. And so that tells me that there's an internal conflict, because they're not speaking about the potential of the other players who clearly have that ability.
There was an interview that Fox did with McKinney after the Iran game on Tuesday, and of course they're talking about Pulisic's goal before halftime, and basically framing it as though that's the only reason they won. And I'm like, it's those type of questions, and it's that type of perspective, and I'm just like, dog, like, y'all got to do better with this. And thank God for Sky's bootleg, because like I've been able to watch BBC, ITV, TSN. I'm like, yeah, I need other perspectives than what Fox is giving, and it's a shame, because I love me some Clint Dempsey. Of course, shout out to Landon Donovan, DeMarcus Beasley for getting elected to the National Soccer Hall of Fame. But it's like, dog, like the way they cover this shit is absolutely, it drives me up the wall. And
they plug United States literally every 30 minutes, like on the clock. I even turned the coverage to Telemundo, and my Spanish understanding is loose, but guess what? I did understand that plug.
It was funny because like I think it wasn't until like this past Monday that I finally saw a plug for a game that didn't involve the U.S. They hyped up Argentina versus Poland. And it's like, y'all do realize it's going to come a point in time when the U.S. is out and you have to talk about other teams. And
I think the coverage just drops off. And I almost want to see that happen.
That's
just
it.
to like prove the point that Fox is garbage.
That's it.
They're setting themselves up for failure by not doing enough to cover all the other teams that are there. Because like, yeah, there's a lot of other teams that are better right now. So yeah, it's
dude, they want to talk about Messi. They want to talk about Ronaldo. They want to talk about Christian Eriksen, and the players that are not here. And then every once in a while, who is it? Like Platini, the FIFA president, but they're not in any shade.
Oh,
and that's all in praise. Like, even you gave a shout out to Dempsey, man, but I was honestly a little disappointed. He's sipping the Kool-Aid a little too much, for my opinion, too.
I mean,
but I guess maybe that's the ticket to admission to be on Fox.
I mean, yes, I definitely there's a definite flavor that Fox is going for, and I said if it's not American or English, they ain't got time for it, and it's really unfortunate because, like,
Harry
if you
Kane.
watch the
Thank you.
If you watch the other, if you're able to watch the other broadcasts, like they have Didier Drogba, they have Laura Georges,
Daniel Sturridge.
Like, they have other perspectives, and not just, people who Anglophiles, like, they're able to incorporate all these different perspectives, and it creates healthy dialogue and debate. And all we're getting is hey, we taste like America and freedom because it's Thanksgiving Day, and it's like we could be so much better. It's absolutely frustrating. But yeah. Before I get up into these picks, next week, we will actually be back next week. We have a special episode, a crossover episode with the podcast Urban Pitch. They're just like this, up in the culture, doing their thing. We got our guys TK and Devin going to jump on with them. You will hear that episode. I believe it's going to be next Thursday. And yeah, we're looking forward to linking up with them and chopping up and basically giving whatever's happening in the round of 16 by that point. Got some good news for you guys. Of course, the past few weeks, the Culture Store has been down. The former ftcutd.myshopify.com. That site is gone. It's done. It's no more. But in its place, we are proud to announce that if you go to ftcutd.com and up in the top center of the page, there's a link for the Culture Shop. You'll be able to find our new store. Now, right now, I'm gonna give you a forward now. It's not gonna be a full launch because we're working with our 2 cents fam and trying to bring our powers combined and everything. But yes, name sets, shirts, and I think that's it for right now. So yeah, got some jerseys that you want to hook up, got some shirts you want to hook up, get at your guys. Again, it's very simple. ftcutd.com/shop. And also on there is the daily blog that TK has been writing during the World Cup. He's been doing this thing on there, covering the tournament and everything. So make sure you check it out as well. Make sure, of course, obviously, the whole team is up and cooking on the socials and everything. Somehow Twitter is still up and running. So hey, we're riding this thing till the wheels fall off. So definitely keep track with us and whatnot. And yeah. So obviously we ain't got enough time for round 2 up until, like I said, we'll probably get up to like after the tournament is over. So what we're gonna do right now, in lieu of the episode coming up next week, like, so we're gonna at least get these picks in for this next round. So let's TK, who you got for Japan and Croatia?
Japan.
Okay. And who you got for Morocco and Spain?
Spain.
Okay. Devin, who you got for Argentina and Australia?
First, I do want to give credit to Australia for making it this far. I do got to say that goal to get them to advance, probably one of the goals of the entire tournament, and
very
people
much so.
Don't give it enough credit. So shout out to Australia for making it this far. Your reward for making it to the elimination stage is a date with Lionel Messi in Argentina. It was a good run for you guys. Y'all gonna get smacked.
Very likely. Very, very likely.
Oh, man. Now, in a very spicy one, I think, potentially spicy, Brazil and South Korea. Who you got, Devin?
Yeah, absolutely. Korea is absolutely riding on the highs, especially after today. They've shown fight pretty much the entire group stage as well. So hats off to them. I do think Brazil has too much depth, too much star power. I mean, again, they played their B team today, and even though they did lose, they still looked pretty good, regardless of their B team. I mean, I'm pretty sure Brazil's B team is, a world beater to any other team on a different day. So I do think Brazil's depth gets the best, sees them through to the next round.
Okay. France should go over on Poland.
Poland's never scored. They're literally Poland has not scored pretty much this entire time. Lewandowski got his first goal during the first day, and I mean and they haven't scored since. They weren't scoring the other day either. So Poland's never scoring. They're out of there. France is going to run in circles around them.
And like I said, I definitely see Portugal over Switzerland. And like I said, I think that Portugal's the team to watch as far as making a deep run. And then we have, last but not least, we got... Actually, no, wait. You didn't even talk about this one. England and Senegal.
Man, come on. I know we rooting for the black team.
I would love to see it upset here. I can't see enough to see it actually happen. So I'm going.
We counted Senegal out completely this entire tournament before everything kicked off, and
True.
They still have performed. They've still performed extremely well.
True.
There's a high potential for an upset in this match, and if I were a betting man, I would place a bet on Senegal to get through this.
Okay.
But my heart is saying Senegal, my mind is saying England.
Gotcha. And then yes, we got our guys, the U.S. Against the Netherlands. It really just all comes down to if we figure out our attack, because one, I think Van Dijk has been proven to be very shaky. Pretty much during this whole season, I think that the right attack can get him to buckle and fold. And then of course, if our midfield and back line holds up, we'll at least stay in the game. To where I said the right break, we might be able to get through. I would go as far as to say is to piggyback on Donald's pick earlier. I'm going to go 2-1 US in extra time.
I will agree with that if Weah scores.
Yes.
Weah has to be on the score sheet. Weah has shown he is clinical for finishing this entire tournament. And
he got robbed against Iran. He got robbed.
Absolutely robbed. And he's shown he's a clinical person up front. And so I do believe he gets another one tomorrow as well. So where's that other goal coming from? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe Weah gets a both.
I think that's the question that Donald was asking during the first half. It's like it's going to be a hero, just somebody that you're not expecting. So I'm like, is this going to be like where like DeAndre Yedlin comes like, oh snap, it's the guy that's here from 2014. Like I don't know.
I think we could have it from a goal from Des. Honestly, I'm not sure the status on all the U.S. players. I'd like to see a front three of, hear me out, Sargent, Weah, and Ferreira. And then swap in CP and Gio at some other point during the match. Let Weston, Musa, and Adams cook in the midfield. And then keep the back four as it is. But we cannot, by any means whatsoever, it's like I would do Vickers and Ream. And then I'd almost even like I'm losing. Who's our left back that we put in? And he was
Jedi.
Deplorable. Yeah,
Jedi.
No, not Jedi. He's been killing it. Robinson's been killing it this whole time. Shaq Moore was deplorable, bro. Him and Haji. That last
Haji.
It was real tough to watch that, man. So like I think. You let them sit on the bench for this one. If we need them, sure, you pull from that resource. But I absolutely feel like if we brought 25, 26 players to this tournament, and that goes for any manager, you need to be putting those players on the field at some point in time to incorporate your success. Now, I understand you want to field your best options, but I think there has to be some sort of parity with that to getting the best. And this is going to be Berhalter's true test of management, in my opinion. He's shown us he knows how to buckle down for two halves. For a couple of those two halves, but I think that's going to be the real true test for this match with the Netherlands. And if we do win it, if we're able to win it, I think that second goal will come from either Sargent or either Tyler Adams himself. Weston had a good shot on goal from the midfield, but I think Sargent is due for a goal. He's looked deadly, and his hold-up play has been immaculate. So you want to talk to someone bullying VVD? He's had the experience. He's bodied up VVD already last season when he was in the Prem, and he's bodying up guys in the Championship right now. So like, I think that's who you got to roll with if he's healthy. There's your second goal. No extra time though. U.S. is not built for it, at least based on the history.
Historically. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. No, I would love to see Sargent get on the score sheet. I think that would be big. That would be huge for him. That would be huge, for obviously for us. Obviously, as it would be the goal that gets us the victory. But I think Sargent, I do think it's just his time, and it would be big. It would be huge for him to get on that score sheet. I think that would be probably one of the best feel-good stories in the team if he gets on the score sheet to knock them out. So yeah, I'm rooting for that as well.
If Ferreira is a dog, put him on the field, man.
Yeah, he's been one guy we've yet to really see. And I want to see what he can do. And I said, hopefully he'll be in a position where he steps up. And I definitely think that he's a guy that we'll probably need. But most importantly, I do not see a scenario where we win without Gio. Like whatever beef is going on, whatever. Like if he's healthy enough to give us at minimum 30 off the bench, then he needs to give us all those 30 off the bench, like preferably more. So yeah, but obviously if the scenario is right, I would be like, yeah, fucking start him. But I don't see a scenario where we win without him.
If CP isn't clear, would you think, let's just say hypothetically that he was still not clear to play or whatever, what would we be rating our chances at for seeing Gio appear?
I think they would probably still start Aronson instead, but
I haven't mentioned him. Yeah,
but if it was up to me, again, if he's healthy, I don't see why you don't start.
Get your ass out there.
Yeah, I'm like, again, if he's healthy, play him. If he's not healthy, why did you bring him? Like
Southgate logic. That's why.
On that note, yeah, shout out to Ben White. Was called up by England for the England World Cup squad, but he went home early. Very vague as far as what happened. Just said personal reasons, but I hope everything is well with him. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Of course, a lot of these games are going to be coming while you listen to this episode. Both this part and the first part will be out before the USA Netherlands game. So make sure you at least catch that first part, and then the rest, work it into your weekend plans. But of course, in the meantime, you can catch us on the socials of the FTC,
UTT,
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, FTC UTT Pod on TikTok. Again, next week you can check us out with the Urban Pitch podcast. We'll definitely give you more details on that as they come, as far as what day it will release. I'm expected to be Thursday, but I could be wrong. But again, if you are doing so, make sure you're following them. Make sure you're following the rest of the Cultureverse: 2 Cents FC, Shea Butter FC, Cannot Kick It, Dreaming of Freedom, Walk in 90. I don't know how many other podcasts we have, but there's a whole lot of them. But make sure you're following every last one of them, and we'll definitely keep it going. Also, shout out to Nubia, part of the Shea Butter Squad. She's definitely been helping us out with the cultural aggregate stats, keeping up with all the black players and people of color that have been scored through the World Cup. Right now, 4 of the top five scores in the World Cup are black. So, yeah. Shout out to Nubia for that. But yeah, again, we will catch y'all in the morning for USA Netherlands. Hoping for a USA win. Hoping for less drama in this World Cup outside the scenes. Again, thank you to Donald Wine for pulling up on the show with us. The coach is real. The coach is literally everywhere. Again, be safe where you are, because don't be like me and pass out during the game. Be safe out here. We'll see y'all soon. And we out. Cool. Good stuff. Why can't I press stop?
FTC UTD.